Virginia Giuffre was born Virginia Louise Roberts in Sacramento, California, on August 9, 1983, to parents Sky and Lynn Roberts. The family relocated to Loxahatchee in Palm Beach County, Florida, when she was 4 years old. Giuffre had a younger brother, Sky. It was reported that she had come from a troubled home and, from the age of 7, was molested by a close family friend. "I was just so mentally scarred already at such a young age, and I ran away from that," she said on Panorama in 2019. Giuffre told the Miami Herald that she went from being in an abusive situation to being a runaway to living in foster homes. She lived on the streets at age 14, where she says she found only hunger and pain and more abuse. Later, she was abused by a 65-year-old sex trafficker, Ron Eppinger, in Miami. Giuffre lived with Eppinger for approximately 6 months. Eppinger reportedly ran a front business for international sex trafficking known as the modeling agency Perfect 10. He was raided by the FBI and later pleaded guilty to charges of alien smuggling for prostitution, interstate travel for prostitution, and money laundering. At the age of 14, Giuffre reunited with her father and returned to live with him. Her father worked as a maintenance manager at the Mar-a-Lago property owned by Donald Trump and also helped Giuffre obtain a job there. Giuffre appeared on a special edition of Dateline NBC with Savannah Guthrie discussing the Epstein scandal along with victims Anuska DeGiorgio, Rachel Benavidez, Jennifer Arias, Marique Chartuni, and Chanti Davies. The special, titled Reckoning, aired on September 20, 2019. Giuffre was interviewed for the 60 Minutes Australia investigation that aired on November 10, 2019. In the program, she described her experiences of being trafficked by Epstein and Maxwell to have sex with Prince Andrew 3 times in 2001, the first time being in London at Maxwell's Belgravia residence, the second at Epstein's New York mansion, and the final occurrence, involving multiple girls and the prince, on Little St. James. Giuffre also gave an interview in October 2019 to the BBC and described her experience of being sex trafficked by Epstein to Prince Andrew for a Panorama special, The Prince and the Epstein Scandal, which aired on December 2, 2019. In the program, Giuffre directly appealed to the public by stating, "I implore the people in the UK to stand up beside me, to help me fight this fight, to not accept this as being okay." BBC reporter Emily Maitlis conducted a Newsnight interview with Prince Andrew, discussing Giuffre's allegations and his friendship with Epstein, which aired on November 16, 2019. The reaction to the prince's conduct during the interview was one of overwhelming disapproval. This, combined with Giuffre's public appeal, helped lead to a widespread shift in opinion by the British people. The prince resigned from his royal duties on November 20, 2019, as a number of organizations and charities that he was connected to severed ties. Despite the prince's promises to assist authorities, in January 2020, U.S. Attorney Jeffrey Berman stated that Prince Andrew had provided zero cooperation. After the FBI and the Southern District of New York had requested to interview him as part of the Epstein inquiry, Giuffre appeared, along with Maria Farmer, in a 4-part Netflix series released in May 2020 titled Jeffrey Epstein, Filthy Rich, directed by Lisa Bryant and based on the earlier book of the same name by James Patterson. In July 2020, following Maxwell's federal indictment, Giuffre was interviewed by Gayle King for CBS This Morning. Giuffre and other survivors of Epstein's sex trafficking ring were featured in the 4-part documentary series Surviving Jeffrey Epstein, which premiered on August 9, 2020, on Lifetime. Following her marriage to Robert in 2002, Giuffre lived in Glenning Valley on the Central Coast, New South Wales for 11 years. The family relocated to the United States in November 2013 and stayed for several years, initially spending time in Florida and later in Colorado in 2015. In 2019, it was reported that Giuffre lived in Cairns, Queensland, with her husband Robert and their 3 children, 2 sons and 1 daughter. In 2020, she moved with her family to Ocean Reef in Perth, Western Australia. It was reported that she and her husband separated in early 2025. On March 31, 2025, Giuffre claimed that her car collided with a bus traveling at 70 miles per hour, 110 kilometers per hour, resulting in her going into renal failure. In an Instagram post that day, Giuffre said she had been given 4 days to live. The Western Australia police later announced that they had records of a minor crash between a bus and a car on March 24, but that no injuries had been reported as a result. Her family later said in a statement that a police report had been filed following the accident, and Giuffre, who was banged up and bruised, was subsequently taken to hospital as her condition deteriorated. At the same time, Giuffre was accused of breaching a family violence restraining order taken out by her estranged husband, with a court hearing set for April 9. She later denied violating any such order and added that she would defend herself against his malicious claim. Giuffre died by suicide at her home in Neargaby, Western Australia, on April 25.